This habit of staying quiet always shields you from unnecessary drama. People who love conflict often need a reaction to keep it going. When you don't give them that reaction, the drama fades. They can't feed on your energy because you're not offering it. That's how silence becomes a form of self-defense. In silence, you also develop a deeper respect for words. You start to realize that not everything needs to be said, that speaking less makes what you do say more meaningful. Your words gain weight because they're not thrown around carelessly. You become more intentional. You stop talking just to fill the air. Instead, you speak when there's purpose. This makes people pay more attention when you do choose to speak. They know you're not wasting words. The more you practice silence, the more you notice its ripple effects. You're calmer, you're more focused, you're more aware, you're less reactive, and perhaps most importantly, you're more in control of your own mind. Noise tries to take that control from you. Silence gives it back. In this way, silence is not emptiness. It's space. Space for thought. Space for growth. Space for strength to build without interruption. And the longer you stay in that space, the more powerful you become without even trying to prove it. Applying the power of silence in daily life starts with a choice: what you share and what you keep to yourself. One of the simplest and most effective actions you can take is keeping your goals private. The moment you start talking about your plans, you open them to other people's opinions, doubts, and judgments. Even if those people mean well, their words can affect your mindset. By protecting your vision, you keep it pure. You let it grow without outside interference. Your progress becomes something you build, not something you have to defend. This doesn't mean hiding from the world completely. It means sharing only when the time is right. Let your work speak for you. Let the results be your announcement. When you walk into a room with something already achieved, it has far more impact than if you had talked about it for months. This approach creates an element of surprise, and it also keeps your energy focused on doing the work instead of explaining the work. Another way to apply silence in daily life is to set firm boundaries. The truth is, distractions will always try to steal your focus. People will call, message, and invite you into situations that have nothing to do with your growth. You have to learn the art of saying no without guilt. Boundaries are not just about protecting your time, they protect your mental energy. Every time you say yes to something meaningless, you're saying no to something important. By guarding your schedule and attention, you create space for the things that truly matter. This also means creating a filter for conversations. Not every discussion is worth joining. Some are filled with negativity, gossip, or arguments that go in circles. Choosing silence in these moments is a way of saying, my energy is too valuable for this. Over time, people will realize that you're not someone who gets pulled into drama easily. They'll respect that you have a clear focus, even if they don't fully understand it. Building habits quietly is another powerful practice. Many people announce their new routines, whether it's a diet, a workout plan, or a personal project, hoping for encouragement. But too often, those announcements turn into pressure or criticism. When you keep your habits private, you take away the possibility of early judgment. You give yourself room to fail, adjust, and try again without the weight of public opinion. Consistency is the secret here. Quietly sticking to a habit every day builds real strength. You don't need a crowd to cheer you on. You just need the discipline to show up for yourself. Over time, the results will become visible to others without you having to say a word. And when that happens, your progress will carry more weight because it's backed by action, not just talk. Applying silence also means being intentional with your environment. If you want to focus inward, you have to reduce the noise around you. This might mean turning off notifications, limiting social media, or choosing to spend time in calmer places. The less external noise you allow in, the easier it becomes to stay connected to your own priority. You can also use silence as a tool during interactions. In conversations, don't rush to fill every pause. Let others speak more and you'll learn things they might not reveal if you were talking over them. Pausing before you answer gives you time to choose your words carefully and keeps you from reacting emotionally. It's a simple shift, but it can completely change the quality of your communication. When applying these ideas, it helps to start small. You don't have to go completely silent overnight. You can begin by choosing one goal to keep entirely to yourself. Work on it without telling anyone and see how it feels to protect it. You might find that the lack of outside pressure makes you more motivated and creative. Another small step is learning to say no in a calm and confident way. You don't have to explain your reasons or apologize for putting yourself first. The simple "I can't right now" is enough. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to protect your time and attention. You can also experiment with quiet habits in areas you normally share. If you usually post about your workouts, stop sharing for a month and just do them. If you often talk about a project before it's done, keep it to yourself until it's complete. Notice how this changes your energy and focus. Protecting your vision also means avoiding unnecessary debates. Not everyone will understand your path, and that's fine. Explaining yourself to the wrong people can drain your enthusiasm. Instead, channel that energy into moving forward. The people who need to see your progress will see it when the time is right. In your daily routine, look for moments where you can trade words for action. If you're tempted to tell someone about a plan, use that time to take one step toward completing it. If you feel like responding to criticism, put that energy into improving your skills instead. Over time, this habit rewires your mind to prioritize doing over talking. You can also reinforce this practice by surrounding yourself with people who respect privacy. The more you're around individuals who focus on their own work instead of broadcasting everything, the easier it is to adopt the same mindset. Silence can be contagious in the right environment. Applying silence doesn't mean isolating yourself. It's about being selective. You can still connect with people, share experiences, and have meaningful conversations. The difference is that you choose what to reveal and when. This gives you control over your narrative and protects you from unnecessary stress. It's also important to remember that silence is not just about words, it's about mental space. You can be quiet on the outside but still overwhelmed on the inside if you let your thoughts run wild. Part of applying silence in daily life is learning to calm your mind. This can be done through meditation, reflection, or simply sitting still for a few minutes each day. The more comfortable you are with inner quiet, the easier it is to maintain outer quiet. Another way to integrate silence is by practicing delayed sharing. Instead of announcing a new plan right away, wait until you've made significant progress. This not only protects your energy, but also builds credibility. People take you more seriously when they see results instead of promise. You can also create silent work periods, blocks of time where you completely disconnect from distractions and focus only on one task. These periods can be incredibly productive because your attention isn't scattered. By making them a regular part of your schedule, you train yourself to work deeply without interruption. Finally, remember that applying silence in daily life is as much about self-respect as it is about strategy. Every time you protect your vision, set a boundary, or build a habit quietly, you're telling yourself that your growth matters. You're prioritizing action over appearance, progress over performance. And in doing so, you're creating a life that's built on real strength, not borrowed approval. One of the first benefits you'll notice when you embrace silence is a deeper focus. Without the constant pull of explaining yourself or sharing every step, your mind stays fixed on the actual work. Distractions lose their grip because you're not feeding them with attention. Every ounce of energy you would have spent talking about your plans is redirected into building them. This shift naturally sharpens your discipline. You find it easier to stick to routines because you're not letting outside noise shake your commitment. Over time, this focus becomes second nature. You don't have to force it. You simply live in it. That discipline starts to spill into other parts of your life. You become more intentional with your time, your words, and your actions. You think twice before committing to things that don't align with your priority. You make decisions based on what will move you forward instead of what will make you look good in the moment. The absence of unnecessary explanations gives you mental space to plan ahead, anticipate challenges, and prepare yourself in ways you couldn't when your energy was scattered. Another powerful benefit is the ability to grow without seeking validation. When you're not broadcasting every move, you stop depending on other people's reactions to measure your progress. You no longer need the quick dopamine hit of likes, comments, or praise to feel like you're on the right track. Instead, you learn to trust your own process. You know you're improving because you can feel it in the quality of your work, in your confidence, and in the results you see over time. This kind of growth is stronger because it's built on internal motivation. You're moving forward because you want to, not because you're chasing approval. Without the pressure to impress anyone, you can experiment more, take risks, and make mistakes without fear of public failure. You're free to focus on what actually works for you instead of what looks good to others. That freedom allows for more authentic, lasting growth. Silence also helps you develop more self-respect. Every time you keep your focus on your own journey instead of comparing it to others, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You stop feeling the need to measure your success against someone else's timeline. You understand that your path is unique, and that's where your power lies. Self-respect comes from knowing you're doing the work, even if no one is watching. It comes from honoring your boundaries, protecting your energy, and refusing to compromise your vision for temporary approval. This reduction in comparison changes your entire mindset. You stop feeling behind just because someone else seems ahead. You realize that most of what people show is only the surface, it's not the full story. By focusing inward, you stay rooted in your own reality instead of being pulled into a race you never wanted to run. This mindset not only preserves your confidence, it also keeps you motivated for the long term. The more you live this way, the more comfortable you become with not being understood by everyone. You accept that not everyone will see your vision or support your methods, and that's fine. You respect yourself enough to keep going without their approval. That inner confidence makes you less reactive to criticism and more grounded in your decisions. You start making choices for your future self instead of your current audience. With silence comes a stronger ability to filter what matters. You can easily identify which tasks, people, and situations deserve your attention. That clarity is a direct result of having fewer distractions pulling at you. When you're focused and disciplined, you don't waste time on things that don't contribute to your growth. This selective approach makes your progress faster and more consistent. You also begin to see how much more efficient you are when you're not dividing your energy between action and explanation. Every moment you save by not over-communicating is a moment you can spend creating, learning, or resting. That efficiency compounds over time, turning weeks of quiet effort into months of real progress. As you grow without validation, you notice a deeper satisfaction in your achievement. The pride comes from knowing you built something through your own persistence. Not because someone told you it was good. The recognition you eventually receive feels different. It's not something you chased, it's something you earned naturally. That makes it more rewarding and more enduring. Your self-respect also becomes a shield. It protects you from being easily swayed by trends, fads, or the opinions of people who don't share your values. You no longer feel the need to follow the crowd just to fit in. You understand that standing apart is often where the greatest breakthroughs happen. This independence allows you to make choices that truly serve your goals instead of distracting from them. The less you compare yourself to others, the more creative you become. Without the pressure to keep up, you give yourself room to think differently. You stop copying what works for someone else and start discovering what works for you. This originality makes your work stronger and your path more fulfilling. You're not just repeating what's being done, you're building something that reflects your own vision and strength. Silence also deepens your patience. You understand that growth is not always instant, and that progress often happens in the background before it becomes visible. This patience keeps you consistent when others quit too soon. You know the work is worth it even if no one sees it right away. That's a kind of confidence that can't be faked. It comes only from trusting your own process. Another benefit is the emotional stability you gain. Without the constant highs and lows of public feedback, your mood is no longer tied to other people's opinions. You don't get overly excited by praise, and you don't get discouraged by criticism. You stay steady, focused, and committed regardless of outside noise. This stability makes it easier to keep moving forward, even during difficult times. Over time, these benefits begin to reinforce each other. Your focus feeds your discipline fuels your growth without validation builds self-respect, and your self-respect shields you from the urge to compare. It becomes a cycle of strength that grows more powerful the longer you maintain it. You start to notice that your decisions are more deliberate. You weigh options based on long-term value, not short-term attention. You don't rush to announce what you're doing because you've learned that the real reward comes from completion, not from sharing. This mindset keeps you consistent, even when progress feels slow. Your relationships change too. People see that you're serious about your work and your time. They respect your boundaries and your privacy. Some might distance themselves because they can't handle your focus, but the ones who remain are those who truly value and support you. This smaller, stronger circle becomes another source of stability. And perhaps one of the most surprising benefits is the confidence that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. You no longer need a constant stream of encouragement to keep going. You know you have the discipline, the patience, and the focus to achieve your goal. That self-trust is something no one can take away from you. As you continue down this path, your sense of direction becomes sharper. You waste less time on detours because you're not chasing approval or following comparison. You move with purpose, clarity, and confidence, knowing exactly what you're working toward and why it matters to you. You don't need the perfect moment to begin. You don't need permission. You don't even need to announce it. The power is already in you. Every single day you delay, you give away time, energy, and focus to things that don't serve you. The truth is, the sooner you begin, the sooner you'll see change. It doesn't have to be grand. You can start right now, this hour, this minute, even while you're listening to this. Silence is a shield, but it's also a weapon. It's how you conserve energy and channel it into building something real. You don't owe anyone a broadcast of your plans. You owe yourself results, and those results will come when you work quietly, consistently, and with patience. You'll be amazed at how much you can create when you're not constantly explaining yourself to people who may not even understand your vision. Start today by making one small choice to keep to yourself. It could be resisting the urge to share your next move. It could be saying no to a distraction. It could be turning off your phone for an hour so you can sit with your thoughts. The point is to begin, because once you do, you'll feel the shift. You'll notice the extra mental space. You'll notice how much more present you are in your own life. Growth is not loud. Transformation rarely comes with applause. The most powerful changes happen quietly. Away from the noise, away from the opinions, away from the constant comparisons. Think about the seed under the soil. It doesn't announce when it's growing. It simply grows until one day it breaks through and the world can see it. You can be that seed. Your roots can grow deep before the world even notices the plant. When you start today, you send yourself a message. You matter. Your energy matters. Your time is worth protecting. You're telling yourself that you're done wasting effort on explanations and validation. You're building something for you, not for an audience. And the irony is, when you do this, people will eventually notice. They'll see the results and wonder how you did it. You won't need to explain. You'll have proof. Staying quiet while working on yourself is not about isolation. It's about intention. It's about putting your energy into what truly matters. Every hour you spend explaining yourself could have been spent building. Every conversation defending your dreams could have been a step toward achieving them. And when you stop giving away that power, you'll feel stronger, lighter, more focused. There's no need to make it complicated. You don't have to change everything at once. Pick one area of your life you want to improve: your health, your career, your mindset, and work on it. without telling everyone. Protect it like a flame in the wind. Feed it quietly until it's strong enough to burn on its own. You'll be shocked at how far that simple discipline can take you. Some people will never understand your journey, no matter how clearly you explain it. Others may pretend to support you but secretly doubt you. That's why silence is such a gift. It keeps your vision safe from those who might weaken it with doubt, criticism, or jealousy. It keeps your path clear, and it keeps your motivation pure, rooted in your own desire to grow, not in someone else's approval. If you start today, you'll break free from the cycle of talking more than doing. You'll stop draining yourself with words and start fueling yourself with action. You'll notice your energy shift toward productivity, progress, and purpose. This is how you win quietly, by letting results speak instead of words. You might be tempted to wait for the perfect time. Don't. There will always be reasons to delay, but those reasons are just fear in disguise. Fear loves noise. It thrives in overthinking and oversharing. Silence cuts through that. Silence creates space for action, and action creates change. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. If you start today, you could be living a life that feels calmer, more focused, and more in control. Or you could still be where you are now, wishing you had begun sooner. That choice is in your hands, and it starts with a single quiet step forward. So start today, stay quiet, watch yourself grow. Keep your vision close, protect it fiercely, and trust that the results will speak louder than you ever could. If you want, I can now stitch all the sections you gave me into one full faceless YouTube script with perfect flow. Would you like me to do that? Let your silence speak louder than any argument, louder than any explanation, louder than any need for approval. Every time you choose quiet over chaos, you are shaping your energy, sharpening your focus, and building an inner strength no one can take away. This is not the end. It's the start of a new chapter in your life. A chapter where you no longer waste your power on things that don't matter, where your actions become your voice, where growth happens not because you told the world, but because you showed the world. So take this moment and make it yours. Keep your dreams safe. Protect your energy. Let your silence become the most powerful sound in the room. If this message spoke to you, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel, Infinite Power. Your journey to strength, focus, and self-mastery starts now, and we're here to walk it with you.